COVID-19 reportedly globally, including millions of cases and deaths all around the world. COVID-19 can affect economy, education, safety and health in each of the country. In Vietnam, the once confirmed case was identified in Ho Chi Minh City with a travel history from Wuhan. And the latest info that we get regarding the total case from the Vietnam is more than 10,059 deaths. Less than 20% of patients experience serious events such as extreme influenza requiring hospitalizations, and approximately less than 5% of patients require admission to intensive care units with acute respiratory failure systems that occur most often in older individuals and those with immune deficiency and chronic disorders. Multiple effective measures have been implemented since the beginning of January 2020, and Vietnam continues to implement strict measures to contain the spread of cases. Vietnam also doing the mass swab test among their people to control the spread of COVID-19 and identify a suspected person to be affected. Thus, it will help the health authority control the movement of the affected person so that the spread of the disease can be avoided. Not only that, the most important measure that had been done by the government of Vietnam is the vaccination program, started with all of the public officers. Operations dependent on human interactions in certain localities were restricted, and initiatives such as body temperature monitoring, disinfect use, and the provisions of masks free of charge in public areas were announced. Controls designed to minimize the infection risk in the city were implemented, such as traffic checkpoints at each province gateways, closing shops and establishing disinfection chambers. Multiple effective measures have been implemented since the beginning of January 2020, and Vietnam continues to implement strict measures to contain the spread of COVID-19. The most recent strict social distancing was introduced by the government of Vietnam to control the spread of COVID-19, and as a result, it showed the low spread of cases.
Pandemic COVID-19 also gave big impact to the educators and students as well, where teaching and learning process could not be conducted in class physically with students. The government need to close all levels of schools to ensure infections to be occur. Thousands of people had been died due to this COVID-19, so that government need to take care and need to protect students and the education sector to get infect of COVID-19. Many problems had been occur since COVID-19, where it affects student academic performance because it is hard for students and educators to adapt new norms which need to use online classes. Limitations of technology also give burden to those poor families which could not afford gadgets for their children to learn. In these situations, for education, the introduction of e-learning is important because all over the world have adapting the same method to do online class without going to school. Ministry of Education and Training Vietnam (MOET) also find initiatives to reduce tuition fee, support buying laptops, and help in accessing internet or broadband. This initiative also help those who group in lower income to lessen their burden. Vietnam Post and Telegram Group also collaborate in this initiative, where they gives free internet connections for 43,000 schools in Vietnam to help them to adapting online classes.
The second problem is in terms of the economy in the Vietnam during the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. The Vietnam's economy was known as an agrarian, survival and village-oriented before the French colonialism in the mid-19th century. The COVID-19 has extremely impacted the Vietnam's economy, and there are a shutdown of non-essential businesses, postponed transportation, workplace and school are closed. The Vietnam's government also had forced restriction measures to tighten and prevent the public gathering, and also a need for social distancing measures was underlined in the series of the government documents released in the mid-March. The Vietnam government also had taken a significant step to minimize the infection rate, which had an extensive impact on the economy, particularly in terms of employment, due to the large number of individuals who have been infected and died as a result of the disease. And therefore, there are many government agencies and businesses had taken good decisions to enable their workers to work from home, whereby it is not only will decrease the risks of disease transmissions, but also to ensure all the employees will have a stable source of income during the pandemic. So the second suggestions or recommendation due to the economic problem faced by the Vietnam during the COVID-19 are by reviving the economic sectors through economic policies. According to the Center for Economic Policy Research in 2020, due to the existence of the COVID-19, it will undeniably affect the country's gross domestic products, GDP, and also the demand and supply of products and services. And it will also impact the import and export as well, predictably cause economic shock all around the world, and thus it is significant to shift economic policy during these hard times. As an effort to combat the pandemic, a coordinated policy at all different levels, such as the global, national, and local, are highly mandatory during these circumstances. And therefore, the Vietnam government needs to regulate its policies to ensure the vulnerable groups can be protected, for instance, through the regulations of policies in terms of the economic sectors. So the economic policies as such by maintaining the supply chain, it will help to keep the country's economic situation become more stable. And next, by promoting the use of digital technology in payments, undeniably, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there is a transition from the cash-based towards the electronic payment system. This is because with the social distancing and quarantine order by the government, it makes the transitions become more difficult. Therefore, through the digital technology, it will help to smoothen the payment, and the Vietnam government also can boost the implementation of essential digital transformation policies, such as by applying cashless payments or mobile money, and with this, it will provide the country's basis for digital transformation in the midst to overcome the next waves of the pandemic.
And that's all from our presentation. Thank you.